Welcome or welcome back to the Greatest Storyteller podcast. I'm your narrator, Omari. Today's story is titled Dating the Intellect. So as I continue on my dating journey as a single woman, I often find myself asking, who am I really looking for? Like, is this guy that I'm in pursuit of tall or is he short? Am I looking for somebody who's fit or stocky? Do I care if he's black or white? Does it matter if he's young or old or sinner or saint? Who knows? Maybe even someone in between. But what am I most comfortable with? So I'm on a couple of dating apps and naturally I'm setting up my profile and I have to write a short description of who I am, post pictures, and of course, if you're posting pictures, you got to have a full body shot, maybe 2 or 3, just because, men care about that. Anyway, in addition to that, I'm adding highlights of any pertinent aspects of my life. And maybe these will eventually become good conversation starters. But then I'm asked to answer questions related to what I'm looking for in a guy. And, I usually give a range when it comes to height, weight, color, the distance between, where I live, where he lives, et cetera, et cetera. But of all of the things that I'm honing in on, zeroing in on, I know for sure I'm looking for an intelligent man. And when I say an intelligent man, I mean he has to have a vast lexicon. He has to be comfortable pontificating on world events. He has to give cogent thoughts on political affairs, both local and nationally. But most importantly, the man must know the difference between there and there. There, Their, and there, Thre. I mean, I think that's a fair request. I really don't think I'm asking for too much, but let's go with it. So I'm on one of my go-to dating apps and I come across this really good looking guy. So I'm excited. His name is Jay. And on Jay's profile, it says he's 6'1", brown eyes, he's athletic built, he has multiple degrees. Yes. He's an avid reader and he enjoys comedy shows. Now, y'all, this sounds like my guy. Plus, he's a looker, so I know it's important for me to like his profile. Now, we become this immediate match because I guess apparently he liked my profile first, and it just required him to pop up on my end and me liking him back. Great. We're all good. Now, at this point, I'm debating if I should kick off the conversation and send him a message or if I should just wait for him to say hi. Now, I really think this is crazy. I personally don't believe a guy should be the one to always say something first. The whole point in dating, in my personal opinion, is making sure that you both express interest. So I'm like, screw it. I'm going to send him a message first and let him know that, I'm digging you based on your profile. Plus, I don't want this good opportunity to go by. I mean, Jay could be my perfect intellect, and that's exactly what I'm looking for. So I send a message, and Jay doesn't reply immediately. Quite frankly, Jay takes his precious time in responding to my initial message. And by precious time, I mean the man took 3 days to respond to my simple hi. But whatever, I'm not complaining. I'm not losing sleep. Jay responded. So I'm geeked. I'm excited. And I think we just move forward and keep exchanging messages, which is what we did. And so we're asking usual questions like, why is a sexy man like you single? And I know all the pretty girls are knocking down your door. Are you crazy? All of the easy questions. So Jay then asks me, what's your favorite color? with the word color spelled COLOUR. Now, I quickly noticed the odd spelling of the word color, but then I was like, maybe he's British. Who knows? So I let it go. I responded, my favorite color is red. And then he texted me back, cool, cool. And that was it. Like, what am I supposed to do with cool, cool? I really don't know. But you know what? Either way, it didn't matter, right? I was still eager to talk to him. I still wanted to engage, especially based on the things I had read in his profile. But at this point, after so many messages, I really wanted to hear his voice. Like I wanted to opine on more serious topics and talk about the things that he loves to read. So being forward, I had suggested we exchange numbers and he obliged. So the next day, early in the morning, Jay sends me a text that read in all caps, GM, WYD. Now pause. I am a 40-year-old woman. Jay is a 45-year-old man. Why the fuck did he send me random letters of the alphabet at 7 a.m. in the morning? Oh, and by the way, I'm supposed to know what these acronyms mean so that I can respond back. So what am I supposed to do? And why, as a grown adult, did you do this to me? Okay, you know what? Maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm being unreasonable. Maybe it was just easier for him, a grown-ass adult, to send me acronyms that I now have to Google because I really don't know what the fuck they mean, so that I could respond. I go on the Googler and I Google the two acronyms. GM means good morning and WYD means what you doing. Okay. I respond to Jay's message and I purposefully spell out all of my words, because that's the right thing to do. Makes sense to me. And I tell him, I'm preparing for my day. And he responds with what I now believe is his go-to message. Cool, cool. Now, normally I find something to respond to when I'm giving an open-ended response, but I really wasn't in the mood at this point, just given the acronyms that I was forced to Google and the cool response. I was just over it. So I left it alone. But later that day, Jay had crossed my mind. I'm still thinking about the things that he has said on his profile. And so I decide I'm going to send him a message. So I greet him with my pleasantries and all of my words spelled out. And then I asked him, hey, listen, you want to talk later this evening? And just guess what this fool responded with. I'll wait. Don't worry, I'll tell you. Cool. I'm now slightly annoyed, but I really want to hear Jay's voice. I really want to talk more. So the evening comes and I'm anticipating Jay's call. So my phone rings and Mr. Cool himself speaks to me. And when he greets me, I hear this really, really deep voice. Like, I mean, very white deep. Like, how deep is your love deep? And it was in that moment, I really forgot how upset I was by Jay's text messages and the acronyms that I was forced to Google. So now I'm feeling, a little warm on the inside. And I say in my soft feminine voice, hey, Jay, how you doing? And Jay chuckles and says, I'm doing well. Now, that's as deep as I can go. But Jay, just think, Jay's voice is super deep. So anyway, we start to engage in conversation and we hop from like one random topic to another. Then we start talking about sunrises and sunsets. And guys, honestly, I don't even know how we got on that topic, but fine, here we are. So Jay proceeds to say, you know, I like how the sun rises expeditiously. Wait, huh? I mean, pardon me? Did this man just say the sun rises expeditiously? So I'm caught off guard. I mean, I'm really confused, but maybe I heard him wrong. So I say to him, you like how the sun, what? And Jay says to me, confidently, like with no hesitation, I like the expeditiousness of the sun in the morning. Negro, what? Like, where did this come from? Not only did this fool misuse the word expeditiously wrong, but it is clear he is an avid follower of T.I. So now at this point, I didn't want to outwardly offend the man, but I was curious, like your education, you have multiple degrees according to your profile. Like what? So I remain calm, even though on the inside I'm terribly confused. And I say to him, you got a nice vocabulary. Where'd you go to school again? And Jay says, I recently graduated from the University of Phoenix with my master's in business administration. Oh, and my undergraduate is from a junior college with a focus on education. Lord have mercy. You guys, it was in that moment that I realized I've been duped. Like literally bamboozled, hoodwinked, misled. Jay was not the intellect I was looking for. Jay didn't have a vast lexicon. He wouldn't be able to pontificate on shit. Hell, I don't think Jay knows how to spell pontificate. Why? Why, God? Why? Ugh, what an extreme letdown. At this point, I just was ready for the conversation to end. And we did. We closed out the conversation. And needless to say, there were no additional conversations after that. Now, I will give it to Jay. He did reach out to me on a few different occasions, but I just felt like it was appropriate to ghost the man. And yeah, I said it. I ghosted him. I really did not want to continue conversation. Plus, I didn't have the heart to tell him I didn't want to continue talking to you, you dumbass. Anyway, the moral of the story is, in my opinion, just be you. I think Jay may have oversold himself on his dating profile, but maybe I'm wrong. I mean, he did say he was an avid reader, but it just didn't come across that way. I mean, what are you reading? One fish, two fish? I just don't get it. The sun doesn't rise expeditiously. And I don't know, maybe he was just trying to impress me, but it just fell flat. And listen, if misleading the reader of your dating profile is what you're aiming to do, dude, it is not going to work. People can only pretend for so long before who they really are begins to show. So, in my opinion, just be authentically you. Someone will absolutely love, honor, and appreciate you for being you. That concludes this story. Make sure you guys check out some of my other great stories on the Greatest Story podcast. Until next time.